We're starting our science book, page 20, and then we'll get started. Yes. All right. So last week, we finished our last lesson on the 5 senses. We covered touch, which is what we get from our skin. Our feeling from our skin covers our entire bodies. It's the largest organ in all, out of all of your organs, because it covers your whole body. There's nerves all over your skin that helps you to feel things like pain, tickles, or hot, cold. We can feel those different things because of the nerves. Okay, so we're going to continue talking about our bodies, but we're going to move on to the next part of our bodies. And this part is what we call the framework, right? We're able to stand, and a lot of our body is able to stand. We're able to stand because of this part of our body, which is our bones. Okay, our bones. So let's look at page 20, and we'll go ahead and read. Will you raise your hand and read? Okay, Faith. Come and read 20.
21. God gave you your bones are the framework of your body. Your bones hold up your whole body and protect what is inside. We call this framework your skin.
Skeleton.
There are
206
bones in your entire body. The bone that protects your brain is called the skull. Your skull is very strong. Why did God design to be that?
Spelling 5 times. Okay, good. All right, so the bones are the framework of our bodies, and our bones hold up our body and also protect what's inside. And I'll talk about what do I mean by it protects what's inside in a second. So if you look at the picture on 20, that part where it shows all the bones, that is called the skeleton. The skeleton is all the bones in your body. So if you remove like all your skin, your muscle, all throughout all of that, if you peel through all those layers, you will get to the bone, and all the bones underneath all the skin and everything is called your skeleton. Okay, so there are a total of 206 bones in your entire body. One bone that we have, which is our head, the bone that protects our brain, it is called the skull. Okay. Our skull is very strong, as we know, and we talked about with our eyes. Our skull protects organs like our eyes. So that's one way the bones protect certain things. Our eyes is one of those things as well. Our teeth, all of that is all protected. The inner ear, because it's all inside of our skull. Okay. All right. So let's look at the picture on the bottom of your bones. I am testing you on this on Friday. So I'm going to have it on your test, and it'll be a blank test of the bones, and you have to label each bone. Okay, so let's start at the top. It starts with your skull, which we just talked about is your head bone. Then we have the bone that's right here. You can feel it right here. It's your collarbone. It feels like one little bone here, your collarbone. Next, we have our shoulder blade, which is what you feel in the back right here, your shoulder blade. Okay, Then we have our upper arm bone, which is, like I said, you got to get through all the muscle, but it's in there, your upper arm bone. Next we have the breastbone, which is right here on your chest. The breastbone here. Okay, and that's connected to your ribs. Your ribs are here. So your ribs, right? Everybody knows their rib cage, right? Your ribs here. So your ribs are one of those bones that protects some organs. Inside of your rib cage is your heart, of course, your stomach. A lot of those things are in there as well. Your lungs are also inside of your rib cage. So that's one way the bones protect your organs. And the rib cage is one of those bones that protects certain things like your heart, your lungs, very important parts of your body. Okay. Next, we have the finger bones, right? In our fingers, we have bones all over in our fingers, a lot of bones. We have our backbone, which will be like the spine kind of, but our backbone. We have our hip bone, which is obviously on our hip. The thigh bone, which is in our thigh. Our kneecap. Okay, the kneecap, which is on your knee, obviously. And then we have our toe bones, our bones all in our toes. So on your test on Friday, you will have to label each one of these. I will have just how it is on the chart, except there won't be the name of it. You will have to write the name of it. So please study that this week, because this will be what I will have on your test on Friday. I'll have a thing on there where you're gonna spell it right. Okay. All right, so this is your bone. This is our lesson on your bones. So your bones are the framework of your body. Your body is able to stand and everything is wrapped around the bone. Like I said, your muscle, your flesh, all of that is wrapped around the bone. The bone part of your body is called the skeleton. There are 206 bones in your entire body. The bone that protects the brain is called the skull. And on the chart on page 20, there's all the rest of the other bones, okay? So now that we've covered the bone, let's talk about the next part, which is called the muscle. On 21, your muscles. What do I tell you every day? You're turned around. You're not even like looking in the book. All right, so 21, your muscles. So let's talk about the muscle, okay?
Can I read?
I'm gonna have you read after Naraya. She had raised her hand, but I'll have you read as well. Okay, your muscles.
God gave you muscles to help your body move. Every time a muscle moves your body, your muscles work together, work with your brain. The muscles and your body come in all shapes and sizes. They each have different jobs to do. Some muscles move when you want them to. Raise your hand. Your brain just told you. Hold your arms, muscles, what to do.
Okay, stop there. Okay, so we have our bones and then we have what's called our muscles. The job of the muscles is to help our body move. Every time a muscle moves, your body will move. So as I'm like doing this with my hand, the muscles are moving to make my hand make this motion. If I'm putting my hand in a fist, my muscles are moving to do that. Okay, so your muscles will work with your brain. Your brain will tell your muscles what to do. So like it said, if you have to raise your hand, your muscles will tell your brain your brain will tell your muscles what to do in order to raise your hand. We are able to move our body because of the muscles. The muscles move your body. Okay, Avaya, you can finish on 21. She's right here. She stopped here. Some muscles. Oh, unmute, Avaya.
Some muscles move on their own. These kind of muscles are organs inside your body helping your body and keeping you alive. They
Yeah,
do
I do agree. I
their
think you just gotta
job
highlight
without
those key ones. I like
you
it.
thinking about it.
Good. Okay, good. So some muscles will move on their own, right? And those are your organs, like your heart, right? We are not telling our heart to beat. Our heart is beating on its own. That is one muscle that moves on its own. Your stomach, it's moving, it's digesting the food, your intestines. A lot of our inner organs will usually work on their own. We don't have to do anything to move these muscles. They will move on their own because those are the muscles that are keeping you alive, like your heart beating, right? Yes. So some muscles, our brain has to tell them to move. Like if we're going to run, our brain will have to tell our legs to run, right? If we have to raise our hand, our brain has to tell our arm to raise, the muscles to move. But some muscles move on their own, like your heart, your lungs, your stomach. All of those things are working constantly in your body and they're moving on their own. Okay, 22. Okay.
God dance design your musical muscles to work for your goal. The new muscles that are attached to your skeleton are called skeletal muscles. Musical
Muscles.
muscle. And I mean you have over 600 skeletal muscles. They are attached to your bones with tendons.
Tendons.
For your work with your muscles and bones to help you move running skeleton. Musical means rest after they have worked hard.
Okay. All right. So God designed your muscles to work with your bones. Okay. So a lot of muscles are attached to the bones by these little muscles called skeletal muscles. And if you look at the picture here, it kind of shows you how that works. You'll have the bone, and then you'll have like these little pieces that will connect the muscle to the bone. Those are called the skeletal muscles. You have over 600 skeletal muscles because there's so many muscles and so many bones in your body. Okay. They are attached to the bone by a tendon. You see that on the graph? It shows you that the tendon is what connects the two together. Okay. And so skeletal muscles, they work hard, right? As you're putting your hand up, as you're moving your arm, they're working hard, moving around. That's why sometimes if you work out and you exercise, your body will be sore. That's probably because you're moving those muscles a lot more than you normally would. So that's why they're usually sore. So yeah, sometimes we got to give our bodies a rest at times as well. So, excuse me. So your muscles, the whole job of your muscles are to move. They move different parts of your body. Different parts of your body are able to move because of the muscles. Some of your muscles are attached to, your bones, and those are called the skeletal muscles because they're attached to the skeleton. They are connected by what's called a tendon. A tendon is what connects them, and the tendon is what helps the muscle and the bone to help you move. Okay, you have over 600 skeletal muscles in your body. All right, so that's your bones, and that is the muscle. That's how they work. Your bones and muscles, that's how they work together. Okay, how does that sound? Good. All right, so that's it for science this week on our bones and muscles. That's what we'll be testing on. Remember, guys, study that chart because you will have to know this for your test on Friday. You should not use your book for your test on Friday. Be able to remember if you study. Just like in person, I study, you guys do too, okay? All right, let's go ahead and move on to our social studies lesson. So we're on page 26. So we've been talking about the separatists and what is going on with them. So remember, the separatists are from Scrooby, England, right? What problem arose for them while they are in England? What problem did they have?
They couldn't worship God freely.
They couldn't worship God freely the way that they wanted to, right? Because who was stopping them from being able to worship God the way that they wanted to? The King of England, right? He said that they would have to go to his church and worship God his way, which is not what the people wanted to do, right? They wanted to worship God the way that the Bible tells them to worship God. So they decided that they would separate from the Church of England. That's where they get their name, the separatists, from. And they decided that they were going to move. Which country did they decide they were going to move to? Holland. They decided to move to Holland, right? So they found an English captain who would, bring it here, Kendall. They found an English captain. They paid him money, but what did the English captain do to them? Or what did he do? He tricked them, right? He tricked them and actually sold them out to the soldiers. What did the soldiers do to everyone that they captured? They put them in jail, the men, the women, and the children for over a month. But this did not stop the separatists, right? What they found a Dutch captain this time, and what were they going to do this time here? They sold everything this time. They sold their homes, their furniture, everything, and they were like, we are going to leave this time. And this time, being that they found a Dutch captain, they said it should be easier for us to leave. The Dutch he's from Holland. So that means we don't have to worry about him telling on us like the other one did. So let's pick up on 26 and let's see what happens now that they've decided to leave. Okay, Carson? Can we just get to one person at a time? Hold on. All right, it's your desk. I don't know why it's over so far. Okay. All right.
Right away, my mother and other women got seasick. Our boat was rowed into a gentle creek where the waves would not bother us. But the creek was not deep. Soon the tide went out, leaving our boat stuck in the mud. When the ship sank, our boat was stuck. It was stuck until the tide came back in. The Dutch captain saw what happened. Then the separatist men were ready. He took all of them on board first. Just as the men boarded his ship, the captain saw English soldiers marching over to the hill. He knew there was no time to rescue the woman. Everyone would be caught if he did. Was also afraid what take his boat away. Frightened, he pulled up the ship, entered, and sailed away with all of the separatist men.
Okay, good. All right, so they finally get on their ship. They're ready to go so they can get to Holland, right? So unfortunately, though, some of the women and children got seasick. Sometimes that happens on a ship when it's rocking a lot. You can get like sick from all the rocking. So they went into a creek, which is like a smaller body of water. But unfortunately, what happened to their boat while they were in the creek? It got stuck in the mud. And so this was not good, right? So the separatist men were able to get on the big ship, right? But while they were loading up on the ship, the women were stuck. The men were able to get on the other ship. Who was coming? The English soldiers, and they were coming to get them again. After they had already captured them one time, they were now on their way to get them again. So the Dutch captain, he tried, to wait. He knew there would be no time to get the women. So unfortunately, what did he have to do? He had to leave. And so he took the men, but who was left behind? The women and the children. Yeah, they got stuck. Well, because that's who was on the ship, the actual ship to leave. He was frightened, he was scared, he didn't know what they would do to him. Yeah. All right, 27. So let's see. So the women and children were left behind.
The men could have done anything to help us. The women cried for their husband and their other children, and I cried for our fathers, but it was too late. Those soldiers must have felt silly marching down the street with women and children as prisoners. They took us to the judges, but the judges didn't know what to do. Go back to your homes, the judge ordered, but cried my mother and the other women. We have no home. We sold them. The women wept for their husbands. We children cried for our fathers, and the judges shook their head. Maybe they felt like crying too. What a sight it was. Finally, the judges sent them to Holland to be with their husbands and fathers.
Okay, good. So unfortunately, they were left behind. Excuse me. They were left behind, with the husbands were able to go, but the women and children. So the soldiers grabbed them. And so the judges at first told them to go back home, but why could they not go back home? They had already sold their houses. So they were like, we can't go back home. So then the women and children, they all were crying. Everyone was hurt. So finally, what does the judge decide to do? To send them back to Holland with their husbands. Well, that's actually a good thing though, right? Okay. 28, anybody online? What's 328? Okay, Joshua, and then Dennis, I'll let you do a portion because it's a lot.
What a happy day it was when my mother and I and the other separatist wives and children stepped off the boat in Holland. You can be sure that there were happy husbands and fathers there to greet us. In Holland, we could worship God freely but we were not as happy as we had hoped. My father and the other men wanted to be farmless as they had been in England, but they had no money to buy farms. They had to work in factories instead. We
Okay,
soon
you can stop
found.
there. Okay, good. Thank you. So they are happy that they finally get to go to Holland to be with their husbands. And also, this is the whole plan. They wanted to get to Holland to be able to worship God freely. Okay, so everyone is happy. You know, they're able to be there, but unfortunately, they are going to run into some problems. So in England, a lot of the men were farmers, but there was no farming land that they could farm in Holland. So unfortunately, where did the men have to go and work? In what? Factories. They had to go in factories. And so factories are like, they would usually make, like, there would be rope factories. There may be like syrup factories. It's just different types of factories. So they couldn't be farmers, which that's what they were known for doing in England. Now they had to go and learn how to work in a factory. So that was a little complicated as well. Okay, Dennis, you can finish us off on 28. We soon found
that Holland is very different from England. The Dutch language and the way of life were not what we were to use.
Oh, Dennis, you went on mute? Oh, okay.
Speak
It's back on.
the Dutch instead of English. How sad is made our parents. We must do something different. Some of the separatists asked, why not go to America? We heard about people already living in America called Indians. We trusted that if we were peaceful and friendly, they would live peacefully with us. So our families decided to go.
Okay. It keeps going. It went on mute again. You have finished?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay. All right. So they also, not only the husbands had to get different jobs, they also realized that Holland was kind of different than England in a lot of different ways. First of all, in Holland, they spoke the Dutch language, which they would have to learn the Dutch language when they spoke English in England. So that was complicated, trying to learn the language. Also, it just didn't work for them. Yes, they were able to worship God freely, but it had a lot of problems for them as well with the language, the jobs. Then the children started to forget about their homeland, England. So the parents were like, okay, Holland has been good to us, but we maybe need to find somewhere else to go besides Holland. So they decided that they would leave and they would come to what they knew at the time as the New World, which we know as America. So they decided that they were going to leave Holland because it was a lot of problems. There was a lot of problems in Holland. So they decided to leave Holland and they would come to a new country. And so next week, when we get into our lesson, probably a week after, we have a short week next week. Week after, we will discuss the next place that they are going to go to. Go outside to finish your work. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You know that. So they decided that they would go to America, where they would be able to maybe start everything fresh, right? Because Holland was already a country. People were already living there and they had their way of life there. But in America, there was opportunity for them to start their own way of living. So they decided, you know what? We're happy to be. No, you already know that. Out of all that time. So yeah, so they decided we're going to leave America. We're going to come to Holland. I mean, we're going to leave Holland and go to America. Okay. Sorry about that. Somebody in first grade was being very distracting to others. Okay. So that is it for social studies. Tomorrow we'll do our, do you remember on page 29? Okay. All right, guys, that's it for our social studies. Let's go ahead and move on to our math lesson. Okay, can you go to 42A? 42A in your math book. Let's go over our facts together like we've been doing. 42A. 42A in your math.
Hold on.
42A.
We'll see. I'm jumping on.
Say that again, Avaya. I didn't hear. Is it 42A? If it's 42A, that's the one. 2A, 42A. All right, let's go ahead and begin. Dennis, you can start us off with the first fact.
2 plus 11, 11.
2 plus 9 is 11, 11, 11. Joshua, next fact.
Equals 10, 10, 10.
3 plus 7 equals 10, 10, 10. Avaya, next one. Oh, unmute.
4 plus 3. 4 plus 3 equals
the true impact to
7, 7, 7.
4 plus
know,
3 equals
like
7, 7, 7. Okay, Naraya.
9 plus 8 equals 17, 17, 17.
9 plus 8 equals 17, 17, 17. Carson. 6 plus 5 equals 11, 11, 11. Caitlin. 4 plus 6 equals 10, 10, 10. Kinley. 5 plus 9 equals 14, 14, 14. Faith. 7 plus 4 equals 11, 11, 11. Okay, Dennis, back to you.
3 plus 5 equals 3 plus 5 equals 8, 8, 8.
3 plus 5 equals 8, 8, 8. Joshua, next one.
Next one is 9 plus 2 equals 11, 11, 11.
9 plus 2 equals 11, 11, 11. Avaya, next one.
2 plus 5 equals 7, 7, 7.
2 plus 5 equals 7, 7, 7. Naraya.
7 plus 9 equals 16, 16, 16.
7 plus 9 equals 16, 16, 16. Carson. 6 plus 4 equals 10, 10, 10. Taylin? 11, 11, 11. 8 plus 3 equals 11, 11, 11. Kinley? No, you skipped the last one.
6, 9 plus 6.
Nine plus 6 equals 14. 14, no. 9 plus 6 is not 14. Do it again. Fifteen, 15, 15. 9 plus 6 equals 15, 15, 15. Next one, we're on the fourth row, the first one, Faith. No. Yeah.
4 plus 7 equals 11, 11.
4 plus 7 equals 11, 11, 11. Okay, Dennis, back to you.
3 plus 4 equals 7, 7, 7.
3 plus 4 equals 7, 7, 7. Joshua?
What's one? This one? 6 plus 3 equals 9, 9, 9.
6 plus 3 equals 9, 9, 9. Avaya?
9 plus 4 equals 14, 14, 14.
9 plus 4, not 14. Try again. No.
Thirteen.
13, 13, 13. Okay, Naraya?
6 plus 5 is 11, 11, 11.
5 plus 6 equals 11, 11, 11. Carson?
7 plus 3 equals 10, 10.
7 plus 3 equals 10, 10, 10. Taylin?
7 plus 9 equals 7 plus it's 5. 4 plus 5.
4 plus 5?
4 plus 5 equals 8.
Not 8.
What?
9, 9, 9. 4 plus 5 equals 9, 9, 9. 8 plus 3 equals 11, 11, 11. Faith? All right, and then is our last one.
3 plus 9. 3 plus 9 equals
3 plus 9 equals 12, 12, 12. Okay. Sit down, please. Sit down with your book. All right, good. All right, let's cover a couple of things on the board, and then we review our spelling, and we'll be done.
We didn't do reading.
Oh, I forgot we gotta do reading. Yeah.
We can't math until.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's read my tally marks up here.
Can I do the tally marks, Miss Fusion?
Huh?
Can I do the tally marks?
Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's count. Bye-bye.
1. Wait, no. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
These are singles.
Yep.
So 30.
35.
30. And now we start counting by one. So
31, 32, 33.
Way better.
Yes, 31, 32, 33, tally marks. Good. All right, good. Let's look at my fraction. So look at my triangle. I have it divided into 2 pieces. What will my fraction read? Yes, and you listen to me good. Okay, Dennis, what would my fraction be? Unmute.
1 out of 2.
1 out of 2. 1 piece is shaded out of 2 pieces total. Good. What about my square? What will my fraction be? 2 out of 4. 2 pieces are shaded out of 4 total. Good. All right. Excuse me. All right. So what we're going to learn today is how to trade pennies into dimes. So if you remember last week, we covered what's called place value. I told you all numbers have a place and they have a value that they are worth. It's the ones place and the tens place. But when it comes to money, we say dimes and pennies, right? But it's the same thing. No, dimes are worth 10 cents and pennies are worth 1 cent, right? So let's just kind of review that a little bit with these numbers I have here, just so we can review, okay? So anybody, you can raise your hand. What number would this be here? Look at how many tens you have and how many ones. What number? Avaya, what's my number?
$24.
24. Okay. Look at your tens and your ones. Joshua.
$45.
45. 4 tens, 5 ones. Okay, Dennis.
22.
22. 2 tens, 2 ones. Naraya. I'm going to Naraya.
45.
Kind of, you got it backwards. 54. 5 tens, 4 ones. 54. Carson. 72. 7 tens, 2 ones. Taylin. 38. 3 tens, 8 ones. Kenley. 37. 3 tens, 7 ones. And Faith. Count again. Tens first, then ones. $67. Good. All right, so guys, remember your tens always goes first, and your ones will follow behind your tens. Okay, your tens first, then your ones. So let's go ahead and look at my coins that I have here. I have 67 pennies, and I want to figure out how many dimes I need and how many pennies I'll need to turn 67. This is pretty simple. All you have to do is look at the number 67. Break it down. What number is in the tens place? What number is in the ones place? So out of 67 pennies, how many dimes would I have? 6 dimes, and then how many pennies? Wow. All right, let's look at 35 pennies. Let's break it down into dimes and pennies. Let's look at it. 35, we have 3 tens, 5 ones. So how many dimes would I make out of 35, Dennis?
3 dimes.
And how many pennies?
5.
5 pennies. Good. And look at 91. Let's break it down. I have 9 tens, 1 1. How many dimes would it take for me to get to 91? 9 dimes. And how many pennies? Good. So it's the same thing. This should be pretty simple. I thought so, but you know, hey, should be pretty easy to figure that out. Okay.
Unique or
All right, good. All right, so that is it for our math, guys. I just wanted to review a couple of those things today in math, some facts, some tally marks, trading dimes and pennies. Tomorrow we get into measuring in our math, so that'll be good. Okay. All right, go ahead and get our team reading on page 85. So you just first grade. Page 85 in your reading. Page 85 in your reading book. Yesterday we read about the kite that Bree, that her parents bought her for her birthday. 85. The kite that Bree's parents bought her for her birthday. It was a jellyfish kite, right? But unfortunately, what was the problem she kept running into with her kite?
She couldn't fly.
She couldn't fly it at first. It rained. The second time it was sunny, but there was no breeze. And then finally, Dad took her where?
To the beach.
He took her to the beach where there was a breeze and she was able to fly her kite on the beach. So let's look at 85. Let's look at PR that says purr and pray. Dennis, can you read those words for me? PR that says purr and pray.
P R says per in praise. PR says per in pride. PR says per in proud.
You can just read the word, like just read the word.
Proof. Brick. Present. Progress.
Okay, you got them all? Oh, pretend. Okay, all right, TW12. Joshua, can you read those words?
huh?
On 85, twa, read the words with the TW sound in them.
TW says twa and tweak. TW says twa and twist. TW says twa and turtle. TW says twa and twing.
You can just read the words. You can just read the words. You don't have to say the sound.
Twine, tween, tweet, 12.
Okay, good. Abaya, the words that are in CH church. Unmute.
Bench, cheese, munch, teach, inch, cheddar, chase, and each.
Okay, good. All right, Naraya, or. Come and read those words. Or. Corner.
No, we looked at the team that at least amount of
Thorn. Port. Airport. Okay, good. Okay, let's go to 88 and let's look at the night I went sailing. The night I went sailing, page 88. All right, Carson, as you can see, guys, I'm going around to give everybody a chance to read. 88, Carson. Could we not worry about that right now? We're reading, so whatever. I mean, writing. Come on, Carson. 88.
Can I read 89?
Yes, you're after him.
Good question.
Go ahead, baby.
That his dad liked to make toy boats. That cut the wood and that helps hammer in the nails. And his dad made one toy boat with a thick blue stripe on the side. At the top of the sail was a small green flag. Zach liked to
Hello, GTA.
pretend he was sailing a boat on the high seas. One night, as Zach went to sleep, his wish came true. He dreamed he was on a big sailboat. His boat had red and white sails with a green flag on the side of the boat. Was a big blue flag. Jack was so proud of his sailboat.
Mhm.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Well,
Something funny about that.
no, I just asked that right now. Good. All right, so Zach, so what does Zach and his dad like to do?
They like. Wait, what was the question? What does whatever his name is?
They like to sail boats, right? And so that was one of Zach's favorite things to do with his dad. They like to make toy boats, right? And sail them on the water. So one night as Zach is sleeping, his dream comes true. What does he start to dream about? Him
on a boat.
him on a sailboat, right? Now, is this really happening or is this a dream?
It's a dream.
It's a dream. It's not really happening just yet. It's a dream. Okay, 89. Yeah. I'm sure you did.
Is it 90 or
89 right there.
Oh. I can sail this boat all day. He said, ride a big gust of a sub. This boat. The boat that grinned.
No, Brad.
That night he was a good sailor. Just when they had yelled, set to have a boat to across the water was chest. She Are you broke? I lost her.
A good sailor.
She was a good sailor.
Okay. All right. So he was excited. He was like, I can sail this boat all day. So he is sailing and he's having a good time. Kinley? I'm 89 still. Are we done yet? Still ready? Yes, you are done? Okay. Okay.
I have a boat too across the water with Chase. He had a boat just like that.
First grade.
Chase's boat had a big red stripe on the side and a blue flag. That said,
Let's see. All right, so he's sailing the boat and then he hears someone yelling at him. Who was the boy that was yelling at him? Chase, right? And Chase had his own sailboat. What does Chase want to have? A race. He wanted to race their sailboats. Okay, Faith, page 90. It actually goes back to them.
Listen.
Yes, Chase said. Well, race to that tree by the side of the river. Okay, said Zach. 1, 2, 3, go. Chase and Zach boat speed away. The length of wind in the sail made the boat go fast, but Zach's boat beat Chase's boat by an inch. Zach gave a cheer. Wow, Zach, your boat is fast, Chase said. So is your boat, said Zach. That was fun race.
Okay, good. So they're racing. The wind is blowing, pushing them. So who ends up winning? Zach. His sailboat ended up winning. His boat just happens to go faster. Okay, Dennis, 91. Can you finish us off? Dennis, page 91.
Just then, Zach woke up. He wasn't on a boat. He just was in bed. His toy boat still sat on his bed. Zach had plans to go try out his boat in the creek by the house. He began to leave the house with his boat in his hand. But then he thought it was much more fun in his room. He played tennis. Then he played by himself.
Or Richard Allen.
Dad, he said, will you please help me make a boat for Chase too?
Okay, good. Okay, so then after this happens, Zach ends up waking up. He wasn't in a boat. Where was he actually? In his bed. He was actually in his bed, right? And so his toy boat was still on his desk, right? So what was funner to him? Yes, he said it was funner to play in his dream, right? And so who did he ask Dad to make a boat for in the end? His friend Chase. Okay, so Zach had a good time dreaming about him sailing the boat. All right. Okay, so that's our story today. Tomorrow we will move on to the block tower and read about that. Okay. All right, guys. So that is it for today. We've completed all of our lessons. Yes, math.
I don't know if it ties to resolution.
Yep, that's it for us today. So that's the end of our lessons, guys. Make sure you complete all your workbook pages and everything that you need to complete on your own, okay?
Oh, okay. I thought it was
All right.